like clocks. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright guys, Boruto chapter 70 predictions. Now by the way, the spoilers were supposed to be coming out at any given time, but I'm pretty sure last month they didn't really come out until the day of the chapter. So I can't necessarily guarantee that the spoilers are coming out, but there's still a couple of things that we do have to cover for this chapter, and of course some things that I think is probably going to happen. The first thing is going to be Eida's decision. If you guys don't know exactly what this is essentially Shikamaru offering Eida to actually join the Hidden Leaf Village. Obviously Eida's main goal as of right now is to actually join up with Kawaki, or supposedly fall in love with Kawaki and then have his children. If that's truly her only goal, one of the best ways that she can actually do it is by joining the Hidden Leaf Village. If I give my actual predictions, I gotta stay consistent. One of the things that I've been saying for a very long time is that Amato is just a regular guy. These cyborgs, Eida and Damon, they're just regular people. A lot of people feel like they have a bunch of ulterior motives, and I've always kind of been consistent, like, yo, it's a very good possibility that they're just regular cyborgs and regular people. If I'm gonna stick to those guns, I'm gonna say that Eida is going to accept this offer from Shikamaru, but it's probably gonna come with some stipulations. One of the biggest stipulations that Eida wants is obviously she wants to kill Amato. I'm pretty sure I even made a video about this, like, would you trade Eida for Amato? I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably agreed that it'd probably be a good idea. Some people actually do believe it's probably not necessarily the best idea because Amato is a scientist. There's a possibility that he makes more cyborgs even stronger than Eida and Damon in the future. You never know. So it's really going to be a difficult decision if Eida actually does bring up that ultimatum. But I personally do believe, if I'm going to give my actual predictions, as I said, Eida is going to accept the offer, but with some stipulations. Whatever those stipulations is, it's probably going to make her not necessarily want to accept those offers if the Hidden Leaf Village denies. But that's just what I personally believe. Now, not only that, we do understand that Code right now, he's in a little bit of a malaise. Code is essentially thinking to himself, what if she actually accepts this offer? Because remind you guys, if Eida actually does accept this offer, it's curtains for Code. You're now asking Code with limiters on to go against Amato, Shikamaru, Eida, plus Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and Kawaki on their way. That's not even to mention the possibility that Sarada and Mitsuki are also on their way as well. Another thing that a lot of people have talked about was Kawaki potentially attacking Boruto in the next episode. I personally don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think they're going to deal with the situation at hand first, and Kawaki attacking Boruto in the first place would be a huge misunderstanding. Just to quickly restate the whole dilemma with Kawaki and Boruto, Kawaki essentially tried to kill Boruto a little bit earlier because Boruto turned into Momoshiki. Because Boruto is not necessarily dead, it still means that the threat of Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body is still there. We know that it's not possible, but that information wasn't necessarily relayed to Kawaki. So it's very possible that Kawaki in his mind might think that he still has to finish the job. Now, as I said, I don't think that anything's going to happen between those two in the next chapter. One of the things that we do know about Kawaki as of right now is that he like blindly loves Naruto, and Naruto blindly loves Boruto. And in turn, Kawaki and Boruto kind of love each other. They themselves have like a brotherly relationship. If Kawaki legitimately feels like he has to do this to Boruto, I'm pretty sure that he's going to have some sort of dialogue with Boruto before he actually tries to kill Boruto. And once he has that dialogue with Boruto, I'm pretty sure he's going to understand that everything is going to be fine. I'm not going to lie, I personally believe that Kawaki is probably going to be a little bit pissed off, mainly because there's not necessarily going to be a full resolution to the whole Momoshiki Otsutsuki situation, because Momoshiki Otsutsuki as of right now is technically still able to take over Boruto's body. Boruto himself said he doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to happen, and we have to kind of take his word for it. But if we were actually going to take his word for it, there isn't necessarily anything backing it up. Like, if we're just taking his word for it, we're just taking his word for it because he's a character that we like. So even though I do believe it's not necessarily going to be a huge situation in this particular episode, I definitely still feel like it's probably going to be addressed. Maybe it's not going to be this chapter, maybe it's going to be 3 or 4 chapters into the future when Boruto potentially gets taken over by Momoshiki again, or when there's a little bit of sign that Boruto is veering a little bit more to the Momoshiki path. I think that Kawaki is probably going to have more questions in the future. Now, the next one is going to be obviously Sasuke. Is Sasuke actually going to die? I've been on this train for a very long time. Sasuke is not going to die. Again, I'd be lying if I said that there were absolutely no signs that Sasuke was going to die. Of course, there are some signs that could possibly point to the fact that Sasuke is probably going to be in a life or death situation. But in my personal opinion, I think it's way too soon to kill Sasuke. The next chapter, I don't necessarily think he's going to get anywhere close to being dead. Now, another character that some people actually did bring up was Shikamaru. Shikamaru potentially dying in the next chapter, I don't necessarily want to say for sure. I think that Shikamaru had a very, very good run in Boruto. One of the things that we do understand about characters in Boruto, or characters in Naruto in general, when they die, they usually have a decent scene beforehand. Like for example, Asuma. For a lot of the casual Naruto fans, we never really seen Asuma a lot. He never really had a lot of heavy roles, but as soon as the Akatsuki invaded, and of course as soon as Inoshika fought against Kakuzu and Hidan, he was heavily in that arc. And of course, because he was heavily there, he eventually died. Not only that, more famously, Mujino in Boruto, he never made an appearance at all in the Boruto anime. He had multiple very good scenes in the Kata actuation arc, and then he died during the Owl arc. So again, my antennas are going to be absolutely spiked upwards for the Shikamaru situation. Because this is a prediction video, I do have to give my predictions, so I'm going to say he's probably not necessarily going to die in the next episode or the next chapter, but I would not be surprised at all if veering into the next chapter, it might be clear that, hey, Shikamaru might be in danger. Now, as I said a bit earlier, Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and Kawaki are headed to the actual battle. Do I think that they're going to fight in the next chapter? I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. I think there's another good chapter of content just from the characters that are actually inside of the room, but I personally do believe, let's say the last 2 to 5 pages of the actual chapter could potentially have one of those two groups, Naruto and Kawaki, or Sasuke and Boruto, joining that actual battle. I think that right there would definitely be a very good touch, and also a very good cliffhanger heading into the next chapter. One of the things that we still have yet to see ever since their great nerf was Naruto and Sasuke actually fight. So we technically still have absolutely no idea how strong a character like Naruto is, or how strong a character like Sasuke is. We can make inferences, we can guess, we can speculate all day long, but until they actually are in battle, we won't fully know. And I think the next chapter, it won't necessarily be the best chance, but the chapter after that, that'll probably be one of the best chances to see Naruto or Sasuke actually fight. But let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section below. As I said, the spoilers are probably going to be out decently soon. I'm not necessarily sure if they are going to drop, but if they do drop, I'm 100% going to make a video about that. It's me, your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.